Hello, I'm Tom. Welcome to Andertons TV. Ta-da! I'm here to show you the brand new Minifreak Vocoder edition, which is a limited edition version of Arturia's very flexible, very powerful hybrid synthesizer, the Minifreak. This edition comes in all white and comes with this very nice gooseneck microphone. For the purposes of this video, we are using a dynamic microphone. Any dynamic microphone can be used with the Minifreak. And the Minifreak Vocoder edition has been companioned with our 4.0 update. So Minifreak, because of its kind of hybrid nature, that has a digital front end and an analog back end, it means that we can do a lot of updates to this synth, and version 4 brings to the play. The vocoder effect has been added along with lots of other updates that we've done recently. Version 3 we added granular, version 2 we added a wavetable. So lots and lots and lots has been added to the synth, and one of the main things that we really wanted to add to the Minifreak was a vocoder because it was available on the Microfreak, and lo and behold, it now is. It's worth noting that the 4.0 update is available to any other Minifreak model, so if you've got the standard grey one or the Stellar Black Edition, you'll get access to the 4.0 update. The mic is not included with those other versions, but you can, as we are in this video, using a dynamic microphone. So just plug it in as we have with a XLR to a jack cable, crank up the gain in the menu, and you're good to go. So what do you get in the 4.0 update? 2 vocoder modes. So the mode that I'm in now is called Vocoder External, so that will take an external source. Right now we're using a microphone, but you could conversely run a line out from a desk or from a drum machine or something else and use that as the impulse for the vocoder. So let me just give you a quick demo of how that sounds. So that's like a kind of classic vocoder sound. This particular preset I'm on is called Naughty's Vocoder, but there are other vocoder modes. And the vocoder is actually in one of the 3 digital effect slots. So if I go to the digital effect slots and go across to the new versions, so we have Vocoder Self, which is mode 1, which we'll touch on in a moment, and then Vocoder External, which is the mode that we're using now. But we actually have 4 different types of external vocoder. So the one I'm going to show you first is a clean one. That's. And what you get with the vocoder is you get 3 controls to control the modes. So you've got decay, and what the decay does is it dictates how long the vocoder holds on to that signal. So if I take it all the way down to 0, kind of stabby sort of sounds. Now if we turn up the decay all the way, it will hold it for a lot longer. And then the other control we get on this mode is the formant of the vocoder. So that's on this pot here. So if we go, what that actually does is changes the way that the vocoder is acting on the signal. And then the last control, and forgive my terrible singing, Oz, make sure you edit out my singing, thank you mate, is a wet to dry mix. So if I now play with that wet to dry mix that's on this amount control, you can now hear my voice through the Minifreak and some reverb as well as the vocoder. So if you're a good singer and you want to hear yourself, you have the ability to mix in that signal. The other vocoder modes on the external, so we've got clean, vintage, so this is a different sounding vocoder, so this is going to have more of a kind of 70s kind of flavour to it, so I'll just show you that very quickly. And again, it shares the same control, so you've got that formant control. You've got the decay. And then you've got the wet to dry blend as well. The next vocoder mode is narrow. So this has a slightly different tonality and a slightly different kind of formant banding to its sound. So little tiny bit different to the others.
And I'll just bring in my verse as well.
And then the last vocoder mode is actually gated, and this is better for more kind of percussive kind of stuff. So if you're doing staccato kind of stuff, this one's more for kind of percussive kind of stuff as well. And then the other mode that I want to show you is called Vocoder Self. Now that's a really interesting one, because what it does is it actually uses the virtual input of the synth itself, or the virtual output of the synth itself, to impulse the vocoder. So if I initialize the sound, get it to a really simple sawtooth, and then go all the way to Vocoder Self, turn it on would help. And what you've got here is the ability to use the vocoder almost as a filter bank. So you have a spectrum control, and then you also have a wet to dry mix of that as well. Again, this is a very honest basic preset, just to give you an idea of how that sounds. There's also different modes for the Self vocoder, exactly the same as the others. So clean, vintage, narrow, and gated. They do exactly the same as in the other vocoder mode as well. I mentioned that you can use the Minifreak to process external sounds. We're using a mic right now, but also mentioned that you can use external things. One of the things I've really enjoyed doing with this update is actually processing drums, but also processing external signals from a DAW and things like that as well. So I'm just going to show you a couple more sounds with the vocoder. And what I've done is I've set up some simple modulation to go from the LFO to the vocoder. So this is the self vocoding mode, so I'm not using the mic at all as part of this. So let's just give that a listen. So because you can use it as like a kind of fixed filter bank kind of vibe, it's really insanely good for bass sounds. In fact, it's insanely good for anything. As I mentioned earlier, I've had a lot of fun kind of smashing drum machines through it and making them sound like different things. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, Minifreak Vocoder Edition comes in this lovely white limited edition version with the aforementioned microphone, but the 4.0 update that I've just shown you very quickly is available for all other Minifreak models. I've been Tom. Thank you very much.